You're listening to Inside Real Estate, your source for all things mortgage and real estate related. The show that brings you all the hottest topics and insights directly from those who know it most. Now sit back and enjoy the show.
Here we are.
Here we be.
It's the, what's up everyone, Paul Apostolakis, Brad Weisgerber, Salvatore Guzman. We are Inside Real Estate. Obviously, thank you all for being supporting our show. If you do like our show and you do feel it, the need, please go ahead and review us on iTunes and all that stuff.
Do find it necessary.
Is
what you were looking for.
Yeah, thank you, man.
That's
thank you. It's a little early. So today's show is going to be a little bit, it's the end of the year, right? So I think it's always good to reflect on 2019 and kind of talk about, what happened over the year. And I kind of want to look forward to 2020 and kind of, try to see like where we're going, in this whole real estate thing and life and all that great stuff. And obviously it's the holidays, it's the last show of the year. So I figured that's what we're going to do today.
All right.
How do you feel about that, Brad?
Great.
Yeah, this was basically your idea.
It was.
Yeah, this is what you wanted to do.
Well, kind of. My idea was a little different.
You just wanted to talk about pasties again.
Pasties.
Pasties
are something totally different.
Yeah. I got what's funny? I got a text from
which are also fucking weird.
Yeah, dude. It's weird regardless. So we had our headline for the last show was Brad talks about pasties.
Yeah, I saw that.
And then, but like I got a text and it was a stripper with nipple tassels from someone and said, "I can't wait to hear this week's episode." And I was like, "Not those kind of pasties, dude." So
really,
yeah, that's my life, man.
Man.
So 2019 obviously for us was a kind of a big year for us. It was our really first full year as a business.
Yeah.
So we went through a lot of things and a lot of growth and a lot of changes. We were really fortunate to grow our business. We're going to close over 100 million this year, which is, quite a bit through a shop our size, I think. So we've something to be proud of. But, some of the headlines over the last year, have been kind of doom and gloom, and none of it has really, we talked to Barry and he's like recession. We've talked recession. And it just seems like it isn't like, we're seeing like different signs. So I don't know. What do you guys think? Like, do you guys feel still the same way that there is a recession coming and it's something that for us to be aware of?
Yes.
You do. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's inevitable. It's going to happen.
It has to happen, right?
But when, I don't know.
That's the question.
It could be another 5 years, right? I mean, we've got like a celebrity in the White House. Like, who knows what's going to happen, right?
A celebrity?
Yeah.
What do you mean
like,
by that?
like, I don't know. It's just like crazy, right? Like,
I mean, yeah.
The world is kind of crazy right now. So like, and it's not bad. I don't know. I mean, I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing about what's going on economically right now. But I mean, yeah, I don't know. I feel like everyone is kind of like we live in like Pleasantville to a degree when we're thinking about like our economy. Like,
yeah,
we're driving around on a bike, right? Like smiling, waving at the neighbors, the white picket fence. But
chasing us is this
inside. There's a monster in the basement.
Yeah,
I mean, there's like crippling debt like looming over our heads.
Yes,
right. Student loan debt,
credit card debt.
Do you know how bad cars are fucking underwater, dude?
Yeah, all cars.
Like all cars. My car is a submarine. It's buried.
Mine too. Mine. Yeah.
There's
all of our cars.
You don't have equity in that thing.
Well, dude, I mean, you can go, and it's funny, right? Because we like our mortgage guys. So I'm like talking to a bank, and they're like, "Well, there's a look at this value," and they're like, "We do." I'm like, "What's your fucking max LTV, dude?"
Right.
I'm trying to roll the submarine out of here today. I'm gonna trade this. And they're like,
"Yeah,
all right, we'll get crazy. We'll call like 30 banks."
Yeah.
One of them's like, "One will take you." With your crazy sick situation that you'll never sell.
Push your credit out to 30 different banks.
Yeah. No, the last car I bought, it's like ding, ding. Like Credit Karma just like sending me email.
Yeah.
Like, some crazy bank in like Zimbabwe has checked your credit and they're approving you for your stupid loans.
Oh my God.
You're a dumbass.
The whole car loan.
That's what it should be. You should change the notification from Credit Karma.
But it's a serious big issue.
There's a lot of big issues, I think. There's a lot of like underlying issues that aren't being addressed potentially. I do believe that I was explaining this to someone over the Thanksgiving holiday, and they're like, "What do you think is going to happen with the recession?" I go, "Look, dude, the economy is like breathing, right? At some point, it's been expanding for so long. There is inevitable there's going to be a contraction at some point. You can't expand forever, right? Economically speaking. So at some point, you're going to have a contraction. The question is always how bad is a contraction? And again, I think a lot of people associate recession with what happened in 2008 and 2009.
That's not going to happen.
That was such an anomalous situation because
No, I don't even want to call it a recession. It would probably just be a correction. Like
Yeah.
Well, it'll be a recession.
I mean, what we
sure.
saw was a
Yeah.
depression.
It's like
recession,
Yeah.
recession basically is a correction.
Yeah.
yeah,
to a degree.
I mean, we're going to come back down and kind of things will get retooled a little bit, and then you keep going. So I don't, this sounds bad, but I don't really give a fuck about it.
You can't
Like,
really worry about it that much.
I'm
right?
living in like today and like the next 30 days.
Right.
I don't think
Right.
anything.
And when that happens, like,
People will get shook up, like people that are overextended, people that
Yes.
that potentially can't absorb that
but
blow.
like,
There will be
yeah,
fallout.
I mean, listen, as long as like it doesn't like drastically affect the job market.
Well, it is
Right?
going to though. Here's what happens: inevitably, a recession happens like this. So unemployment starts ticking up, and then people get unemployed. They start spending less, and when there's people start spending less, businesses that rely on that spending have to lay people off, and those people that get laid off then start spending
Yeah, I
less.
mean,
So
it's a
it-
snowball, right?
It
But
is
I'm-
a snowball.
I'm talking like 2008, 7 levels.
No.
Like,
Yeah.
people probably aren't going to be like foreclosing at rapid rates.
No.
On these crazy loans that they had, right?
No, no,
so
no,
like,
no.
they might lose their submarine, right? Their submarine might get repoed.
By submarine, he means the car that's underwater.
Yeah,
yeah.
but like, it's not gonna. I don't think you're gonna see people in the streets like panhandling.
No, I don't
Like,
think
I
it's
mean,
gonna
you
be.
will because you always do.
No, but I mean, I'm
Yeah.
just saying, it probably won't be that bad, and maybe it will be. I don't know, but like, no one knows.
Do you ever wonder when people are like not working? It's like, why aren't you? I mean, we don't have a shortage of jobs right now, right? So it's like, why go fucking get a job? I don't know, man. It's like it bothers me sometimes, and I always try to give to anybody that's on a hard times, and you never know anybody's certain situation. But I always think it's weird when people are like, I can't find a job. Most people that say that can't find the job that they want to be in, right?
Yeah, but there's a lot of idiots who have jobs that don't work either.
Yeah,
I mean, it's like, dude, like,
yeah.
we
We are a spoiled society where people expect to be given stuff and not work hard for it sometimes, and we see that across the board, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, it happens. But on a brighter note, I really think 2020 is going to be a good year. I think we might see a recession, we might not, but I think being positive about it is the best thing you can do. I don't think us going into it and saying, "Oh my God, the world's going to fall apart." Sometimes collectively, the collective brain of the human society can cause things to happen. If you say something that's so long and so many people believe it, it will happen. It's almost like a self-fulfilling prophecy, right?
I think you got to be positive always, but
Yeah.
at the same time, like, don't get cocky,
Yeah,
right? Like, hey, like, everything's good right now. Next year, like, you might be closing like 1/8 of what you're closing right now.
right. How are you going to adapt? It's all about adapting, right? So here's what I was talking to someone else about yesterday is like, the the realtor market is really getting disrupted. We saw a lot of like iBuyer situations where like Open Door, Zillow, and all these companies are trying to disrupt that multi-trillion-dollar market by, doing things a different way. And the real estate agent is going to start feeling that, I think, in 2020, where, you're going to have different opportunities, and there will be a shedding, in my opinion, of a lot of these old guard type real estate agents that haven't adapted. We see it all the time. We see a lot of real estate agents that try to do things the old way, and eventually that way just isn't as effective because there's these new millennial real estate agents that are embracing technology, that are embracing social media, that are embracing their own branding, that are really putting themselves out there. They're getting more business and they're taking market share from the old guard, if you will, of the old way of doing real estate, right?
Yeah, no, I mean, you see it every day, and like the people who are getting to the agents, I should say, who are getting to the people first are usually winning, and that's happening through where the people go to look for homes, which
Right.
is the internet and Facebook or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Zillow.
Yeah.
Not, well, let's
call my local-
let's get in
yeah.
the caravan and drive down to our local real estate boutique.
Yeah.
I mean, that might happen in some areas, right? With very old school buyers who might not be alive in 10, 15 years, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of like, yeah, things are changing. People want like instant like feedback, instant communication. Like it's funny, right? Like even on our end, we'll like talk to someone or like be in a meeting for an hour,
Yeah.
right? Someone called you call them back. They don't call back. They don't call,
It's bullshit.
you missed them. You missed your shot.
You have a small window of opportunity, right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Like you call that agent. They're like, oh, they went with their bank
Right.
because you didn't pick up.
Yeah.
It's like, damn.
It's crazy, but like we've been fortunate on our show here at Inside Real Estate that we've had a lot of really top tier, really smart agents come through here, And, you know, if we want to talk about the common thread through all of them, is they're all utilizing different marketing techniques to get in front of the client in different, more effective ways.
Right. And I think they're all like self-aware of like what you did yesterday might not work tomorrow.
Yeah, they're
always
very
looking to
very
adapt.
innovative. All the top agents I believe that we've had in this in our not in this office, but on our show, you know, again, they're all talking about doing things
We
a
can
little
see
bit
in our
differently.
business, right?
Yeah.
Like, hey, closing loans fast, like might have got you here, but that doesn't mean shit now.
Yep.
Right?
That was a big deal. So, you know, to your point, to your point, when like we were like, hey man, so let's build a company that we're going to close loans. Well, everybody closes loans fast now. It doesn't. It's not a
Not
differentiator.
everyone.
Not
But a lot
everyone.
of people do.
But
it's like-
you're not hearing about
it's not the
120
standard,
day. You're
right?
not. Yeah. You're not hearing about 120 day refis anymore.
But when
No.
we were at United Wholesale, that was like our biggest sell.
Yeah, we'll get you
And it
through the
still
process.
is like their efficiency and their process, like being very good at the visibility.
But
of
I
the
feel
loan
like if
and
you haven't
getting it
figured that
done.
out, you're going to lose right off the bat.
But there's a lot
anyways.
of companies that can close loans fast.
Yeah.
Right.
So as a mortgage company, guys, like we are, I mean, we own a mortgage company. We're 3 owners in that space. What do you think it's going to? Because it's a great point. Like our value proposition is being watered down because everybody else is kind of catching up and they're kind of doing a lot of the same things. So going into 2020 as a mortgage company, if anybody's out there that owns a mortgage company or is even in real estate, what do you think we're going to have to do to compete? You know what I mean? We talk about this all the time, but
I don't really agree that our value proposition is getting diluted that much, because our value proposition could easily be diluted, but humans don't want to do the hard things. They don't want to answer their phones. They don't want to call people back. They don't want to. They don't want to take the extra step to be available. And because our value proposition is mainly service, like
high level
high level service.
Yeah.
Right. You're not going to leave a voicemail that often. You're going to get someone on the phone. We're going to get your questions answered.
At the core of it, that's our core.
That's the bread and butter, and a lot of people just don't do that because they
Well,
don't
it's
want to
about
put
the
that effort in.
consistency, right?
Yeah.
And it depends on how you're set up. Consumer direct is different than, let's say, like
a referral system.
Yeah, referral
Right.
system. I mean, we built our business on referrals because of not necessarily doing a good job one time, doing a good job
Consistently.
time and time, and you know they can being reliable, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's like really, I think the backbone of a service industry is reliability, right?
Can we talk about how fucked up that is? That hold on, can we just talk about this? That we're talking about a very very high level like transaction, and our value proposition is we'll answer the phone.
Yeah.
And that puts us
It's
ahead
crazy.
of like 90% of the people doing our business. Is
crazy.
we just actually return the fucking phone for people
Yep.
and actually answer it, and we don't wait days to get back to people, and we communicate at a high level.
You know, and
but it seems so
is,
rudimentary.
but it's also very hard to do consistently.
Yes.
It is hard to, especially like a little shop. where
Is it
there's-
that hard?
It is.
Is it that hard to
Yes.
answer the phone?
Unless you're a fucking robot.
No, I'm just saying, like at least
high
like,
level.
on our side, right? We don't have like eyes in the sky watching us, like telling us, like, "Hey, your Salesforce said you didn't call this person back. Like, you're gonna get fired."
You have to be organized.
No, I'm saying like for a self-managed
More
business,
Yeah. Okay.
like a real estate agent, like if you're busy, that can be hard. You do miss people,
Yep.
right? Like I know when I'm super busy once in a while, it's like
But we miss people by hours, not days.
possibly days. I get calls 2-3 days later once in a while, and it's like, hey,
But it's rare, man.
what'd you do? No, I know it's not the normal, right?
Yeah.
But like again, being consistent, being aware, and doing that time in and time out is like a main value proposition of ours. I mean, there's a lot of different things that people look for in a lender, right? Like,
Mhm.
and you got to tell people like what you're good at,
Yeah.
right? And I think that's what people fail to do, and that's why a lot of people struggle in this business. It's like, well, yeah, we've got the best rates. No, you don't.
So I want
There's
to.
a better one.
I want the audience. I want to quantify Sal's acumen in this space, just for the audience, just so they understand. Salvatore Guzman is one of the top loan officers in the country. But right, you
in the
close what,
country.
40, 50, 60 million this year?
Yeah, I mean, I guess in some aspects, you know, if looking at it from like a wholesale level, probably,
Yeah.
right? I'm sure there's some like retail monsters.
No,
that-
I get it. I
yeah.
get it. But for our model, I mean, we literally ranked one of the top in the country. So from your perspective, what has gotten you there realistically isn't all the bells and whistles. It's really just you being proficient and being a good loan officer and being high level. I mean, that's really the main gist of it that got you there. We can give all the bells and whistles, and we try to add value.
Yeah, I
other
mean,
ways.
it's just honestly, it's just shooting people straight and getting them answers quick,
Yeah.
right? Like, dude, I don't know if you should do this,
Yeah.
right? Or telling their agent, like, this is pretty fucked up. Like, I don't think I can do it.
Yeah.
Well, so-and-so said they can. They could put their name on that, right?
Well,
So, like, and a lot of times those deals close, but they probably get, shady shit happens, right?
Mhm.
Well, they bought it as a primary
Yeah.
or whatever, right? So, ultimately, I mean, I think people going forward in this business, right? Because, like, I realized, too, that what got me here isn't going to take me or our company to the next level either, right? Like,
You
that's
gotta
the
evolve.
base, that's
Yeah.
the blocking and tackling,
Yeah.
but that's, like, status quo now. Like, you got to be
Right.
good, right?
Mhm.
But now we have to adapt to different models, especially as you see like a Zillow or a Realtor.com like come in and come out of potentially being like a major lead source, right?
Yeah.
I mean, shit, they own a mortgage company, right?
Yeah.
I'm seeing Zillow ads on my Instagram,
Yep.
Zillow mortgage ads.
Yeah.
So,
And we funded that.
right.
You know what I mean?
Fucking crazy. But, ultimately, like,
fucking
we're gonna, yeah, we
literally funded our replacement.
slowly pushed like a bullet into the
Just so
chamber
the audience
and a
understands.
barrel pointed at our fucking
I want the
head.
audience to understand that. So Zillow, their primary revenue source was real estate agents and mortgage companies that were paying Zillow to acquire their leads. They were driving billions of dollars in revenue through that stream. And with that revenue that they took, they basically are building a platform to basically try to replace the real estate agent and the mortgage people in that process.
Yeah.
So they're taking the money and sucking it out of the market through the lead system, and then they're building something to replace them. So they put everybody. It's really kind of fucked up if you think about it.
Hopefully, to be a true testament to don't bite the hand that feeds you.
How
And
crazy
they don't
though.
care, but they don't give a
Fail.
fuck.
I mean,
bro.
how
I
awesome
know.
though. Like,
Hopefully they-
think
I'm
about
saying
Zillow,
hopefully they
just
fucking
in
fail.
general, like what it is, right? Like,
It's a data company.
right. But I mean, essentially, data before that only a real estate agent had,
Right.
the MLS, right? Like most of that information is translated through to a website, and all they did is essentially rank to the top with SEO and
Yep.
Google
Mhm.
AdWords and whatnot. And now they've become
The
where
source.
people go to look at
Without
homes.
place.
It is
Yeah.
the first place people go to look for a house. The
Yeah.
first thing, even
And
I
that's
do
not
it.
going to change.
We do it when I want to look up a property. I look at Zillow right away.
So do I.
That's the
Could
same
you
thing.
imagine as like
I
a
like
social
Redfin,
experiment?
They show a little more data.
Could you
But
imagine a social experiment where Zillow, Redfin, Realtor.com, all those online house searching sites were down for 2 months? What would happen?
2 months.
2 months.
It would shake the whole process.
You think-
well,
With
agents
the-
would be getting a lot of calls.
Do you
Yeah.
think? Or do you think the housing market would just almost crawl to a halt for 2
No,
months?
if someone wants to buy a house, they'll figure out how to do it. They still look at the property on Zillow and
people really
probably
that
forward it to
motivated?
their agent.
You
Right?
Think about how things have changed. So 10 years ago, if you wanted to buy a house, you relied on the realtor to set up a search for you so you could get houses when they hit the MLS and you could see them. Today, the real estate agent doesn't need to be part of the house finding process because that house is on the Zillow before
I know.
it even hits
It's
MLS
crazy.
sometimes.
All Zillow needs to do is like essentially create like an EXP model,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Like, all right.
They can do anything, bro. They
Let's
own the
stop
market.
giving them ideas.
Yeah, no shit.
Like
So
they haven't thought
No,
about
I
it.
know.
They
Yeah,
fucking
no.
should.
Yeah,
I
they-
should go work there. I mean,
All right, let's change topics.
we're shutting it down, boys.
Ideas.
We're shutting it down.
Hey, we should,
So
right? Go there. We got great ideas.
we got great ideas. But they're like, thanks, guys.
We'll
We're-
recruit
we'll-
a whole bunch of fucking agents for you too.
We'll be good, but guys, I think we got to handle. This is what they'll say. They'll say,
Yeah.
"Go fuck yourself."
They won't even talk to us.
So
What are you talking
think
about?
about it. So like Sal, you said something poignant. What got you here will not get you there, right? And we see this in real estate agents and in mortgage companies. They just keep doing the same thing over and over, and they end up being like Blockbuster. They can't evolve fast enough, and they disappear. And there's a new, like we're seeing again, a changing of the guard in the real estate. We're seeing the changing. At every aspect.
Well, what you also see too is technology exponentially grows, right? So
Yeah.
it's not like hey, that might have worked for you in the 60s and 70s. The amount of innovation that happened in that time happens in 1 year,
Yeah.
right?
now,
And
yes, yeah.
like
What used to take 20 years takes like months
so.
sometimes.
I'm like a big Wikipedia guy. I don't know. I just love it.
Yeah,
it's
I know,
awesome.
you know you
So
do.
I was going through, and they have all the websites. I was just looking at the iPhone on there, right? And it shows on their predecessor and successor, right? So it was iPhone 3, iPhone 3S, iPhone 4, iPhone 4S.
3.
And
Wow.
all of the websites are archived. Like they have like an offline but online website. You can go
Yeah,
and you
yeah,
can
yeah.
look at the archived launch page of those iPhones, right?
They're not
And
like,
I'm like-
maintained anymore, but they're still out there.
Yeah, and I was at the reason I was there is I was at my dad's house and I found this old iPhone 4, right? And I turned it on. I'm like,
I still
what the
have one.
fuck, dude?
Mhm.
Like,
Yeah.
and I'm thinking, like, man, when was this? Like 2003, right? Then like I had this phone, and it was like, no, it was like 2012.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. It was
Which,
not that long ago.
even when you say 2012, it feels so close.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like 7 years ago.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It's crazy.
I still
bro.
have an
right?
iPhone 4.
I'm like,
It
man,
still
I
works.
got a
My
pretty
kids use it.
new car, right? I think in my head like a 2015. Then I think, well, it was manufactured late 2014. This
A
thing
lot
is
has
old.
changed. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. My
fucking
car
old.
is a 2014, and people
It's
get
older than both your kids.
Yes, people get in my car. They're like, "Wow, this thing's sweet." And I'm thinking about it. I'm like, "Bro, it's 5 years old. You know how much
Six, really.
6, really?
From the
yeah.
time it rolled off the
Yeah.
line, it's fucking crazy,
It's
right?
crazy.
Not, and I mean, I guess we could sit here and have like these
philosophical. Yeah.
philosophical, enlightening moments that like 2014 was fucking 5 years ago, but the reality is it just doesn't feel like it, right?
No, it's gone so fast.
And you don't really necessarily focus on things like that. We're so focused on other things that
Yeah.
like time kind of passes you by. So like when you're saying like I'm at the beginning of the show, like we're looking so forward to 2020, like we might as well just say it's here. Like you're gonna blink and it's gonna
Gone.
be January and then
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
basically
June.
is here. There's what, like
so
a
like
couple of weeks left.
bro, like how far in the future can you really plan?
You can't.
At least in this business, right?
I was asking someone. So someone has asked me like, what is your plan in your business? I go, dude, my plan is to handle the next problem. That's really the way that we build our
Survive the
business.
winter.
Survive the
well,
winter.
any company I ever worked at, right? It's like it's like a 30 to 90 day rollout. Right?
Everything, yeah.
For like a system or something.
Yeah.
It's like 60 days. Like a 2 month, like
You know
gap.
how much changes in that period. You might not
Right.
even need the
And then
same
by
system.
and then you're on day 120 and it's like, well, I don't think we're gonna do it.
Mm-hmm.
But we've gone
I would love to have an issue in our business that we could take 60 days to roll out a solution for.
That is one of the advantages of us at our
Man,
size.
could you like every
no,
time?
we
every
do
time
though.
we
I mean, think about it, right?
we-
Like we're talking about like systems for growing a business long term.
but I,
That could take a year.
yeah.
but I feel like every time we have an issue like that, it's like we got a week.
We gotta get it.
We got a
done.
week to get it
Yeah,
done.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
we need it now, right? Where it's like, man, having 60 days to like really that'd be sweet.
Well, I don't know. I guess it's all relative, but like in our business, we don't like create like widgets or build like
Yeah.
a building, right? Like we're not like building a skyscraper with plans and
We're just trying to survive,
phases.
bro.
Like, well, no, it's just a constant bucket with a giant hole in it,
Yeah.
right?
No. I think it's a boat with a million different holes in it, and trying to figure out which one you want to plug up first.
No,
Yeah.
one way or another, you lose water every day, and that's business, right?
Yeah.
Like it's in, and then you close it, and it leaves the bucket.
Yeah.
So you have to figure out how to constantly
Plug up the holes.
and not bottleneck it, right?
Yeah.
Because the water still needs to exit it.
Yeah.
You don't want all this business that you don't close. So it's like, damn, we gotta. It's pipeline, right?
Yeah.
That's essentially what it is. We just own a pipeline.
Mm-hmm. That's all. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all it is. I mean, think about us when we started 2019 and what we thought our goals were and what we wanted to be and where we wanted to be. We were very, very green, and I feel like we've
Seems like
learned,
a long time ago.
but it wasn't that long ago.
I
Dude. We've
know.
been in business for like 21 months. You know
I
what I mean? It's been crazy. We've done 81 episodes of the show. Think about how fast 81 episodes of the show, right?
Wow.
So it's like, and we do it every week. But that's the thing. Like I believe in 2020, the people that can be consistent in their actions on a day-to-day basis will succeed. It's everybody has great ideas. You should do this. You should do that. You should do this. And I'm like, yeah, bro. But how are you going to implement that? How are you going to do it every day? How are you going to like you know how many agents I talk to? They're like, I need to do more posts on social. I'm like, okay, you need to do that.
Dude, I love people too. Like the calls we get, they're like, "Hello, this is this is Tim with Zillow."
Oh my god.
Or this is Tim with like home snap
robocallers?
leads or something. I'm
Yeah.
like, all right. I found you on Zillow. Okay. Do you need leads that will close today? I'm like, fuck out of here, bro. Just like hang up on them. Like
Yeah.
you get those calls all the time, or
emails,
constantly emails. Hey, do you want to improve your SEO? Do you want to do your marketing? Do you
Yep.
want to do this? And
Yeah.
it's funny because like you think about how many marketing companies there are, and then how many lead shops, and then how many mortgage companies, right? And
Yeah.
it's like that's probably how a lot of people come across, right? Even in our business, loan officers and whatnot.
It's
right?
very difficult to market without being intrusive and annoying. And I think that for us, that's a big part of how we market is we never want to be that company that's intrusive or annoying because I have to imagine that if I have a marketer calling me and they're fucking annoying, then what are you going to do with my brand?
Yeah.
Like if you're annoying me, bro, you're not going to be a great marketer to my audience and annoy the fuck out of them. I never want to be annoying. Now, granted, annoyance sometimes, if you're a transactional type business, it can get you somewhere because you just you'll get something by default. I never want to do that. I'd rather be a much more organic, much more high level type thing. Or we're not transactional, obviously, but that's a whole nother story. But look, I mean, I think 2019 was really a growth year, and 2020 is we're gonna have some like real things pop up. I think we've got an impeachment that's gonna be going down. I believe
It's happening right now.
it's
actually.
wild, right? There's a lot of geopolitical issues. You've got tariffs. My sister-in-law
He might be gone by the time this episode drops. We don't know.
I mean, come on, man. He's not going anywhere. He's like Teflon Don, bro.
I'm just saying.
Like, he's gonna get reelected. Why?
Oh my God.
Look, we're not gonna get political.
That bro you just laid was like,
No, deep bro. It was an east side. Yeah, it was a deep east side. It's really good, bro.
that was like rocket power, bro.
Yeah.
Like,
That's the only
all right,
thing
dude.
Sal heard of anything. he said.
Bro.
You're like, come on, bro.
Yeah, that's totally the east side. It
was funny. Sorry.
Yeah, no, that's all right.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot going on, but what are you gonna do, right? Are we gonna, like, as an individual, are you gonna stand on the top of the mountain and be like, stop tariffs?
No, you can't do
It'll be
anything.
like-
You just gotta live with it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you guys gotta like run with it and go, and like things are gonna happen, rates are gonna go up, rates are gonna go down, but like every day, like you can only control what you can do,
Mm-hmm.
right? And
I
I
agree
just
with
think that like if we think about our business like that, and people think about their business like that, like it'll be fine.
There's something to be said though, to be prepared, right? So like we know that if certain things happen, if we get into recession, what we're going to do, right? So
Well,
if
I
recession
think
happens,
really
what are we going to change?
I mean,
what
as
are we
a
going to focus
business, right? Like
Right.
we as owners at least have to be prepared personally to maybe not make money for a few months,
Right.
Or right, so like saving and doing things that you probably should do anyways, right? Are important things, like like that's a big. I feel like a lot of people in this business, it's so funny, right? Like, wow, they're killing it, right? Like a real estate agent, they're like, I want to buy a house. Okay, well, let's look at your taxes. They're like, dude, I haven't filed taxes in years.
on? Yeah. What are
I'm like,
taxes?
well, considering you want to buy a $600,000 house, you're gonna probably end up paying your whole everything you have in the bank on taxes if you want to qualify,
Yeah.
right? And it's like, damn,
Yeah, show some income.
yeah. No, it's I mean, that's another thing, right? Like paying your taxes and all that, like as a business, like just it's very hard to run a business and do things the right way, right?
Yeah. It's way harder to
Not
do
an
it the
easy
right
thing to
way.
do.
It is way
Yeah.
harder to run a business and do it the right way as opposed to cheating or taking shortcuts. It is way harder to do things the right way. But if you do it the right way, you have a better foundation. You can
Well,
survive a
of
lot
course,
more,
right.
right? Just like marketing. Like I talked to Joe yesterday, our marketer, and we did everything the right way. But it's much harder to build a marketing strategy the right way and build your SEO the right way and not use any black hat stuff. It's a lot easier to take shortcuts. But if you rely on these like things that are like cheat codes, and those cheat codes go away, and you can't use the cheat code anymore, like you're in Contra, and all of a sudden you're left light up down, and you can't use that anymore.
I was thinking of Paul sitting in front of his computer, in front of like Adobe Pro or whatever, like up, down, left, right,
Yeah,
left,
right.
start, select.
That's what I'm saying. But once that cheat code's gone, you're fucked, right? And all of a sudden your business and your family and all the people that you employ are all fucked because you decided to cheat the system.
All their families, all their kids.
Yeah, you can't.
Fucked.
You people that cheat the system will eventually get fucked, in my opinion. It's
Not in the good way either.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, not in a good
Right.
way.
because the system is a game,
So everything's
right?
a game.
And you can
Our
play the
lives are
game very
games.
well,
You can
but you
gamify
can't really
anything.
cheat it,
Yeah.
right? You can figure out how to probably not pay taxes,
You can find glitches in the game,
right?
but you can't cheat.
Well, look at.
Yeah.
I mean, we've got a huge tax evader running the country.
Potentially.
I thought
I
we
mean,
were getting
whatever.
political. You keep bringing it up.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
bro.
you're like-
I'm
Yeah.
sorry. I'm poking that
Trying to
bear.
poke that
Little
bear.
witch hunt guy.
I'm not even, dude.
I'm about to go off on a 20-minute rant.
So I'm just real quick. I'm going to give you my opinion on this. Like, what he's done is impressive.
No, it's
in my opinion.
Moving on.
But it is impressive.
No, it's not.
He's
How
just
is it
horrible-
not? I mean, I'm not saying like
on every level?
He hasn't done shit. He takes 6 hours of executive time every day to watch
He's-
Fox and Friends and eat Big Macs.
and he's the
you
president
go home and
of
play
the
your
United
Nintendo
States.
Switch in your car every day at 2 p.m.
Yeah.
No, I don't.
Yeah, you do.
No, I don't. I don't play Nintendo Switch until 11 o'clock when I put my kid down.
What I'm telling you is,
Bro, you brought it into the office and we're playing it in the office yesterday.
Yeah.
It was.
Yeah.
So doesn't mean you're not getting shit done though, right?
My point is, it is impressive what he's done. He's the president of the fucking United States.
Let's change topics.
Okay, Brad's super getting hurt right now. So let's talk about 2020 real quick. What do you think is going to be one of our biggest challenges in the real estate market in 2020?
I mean, I think one of our biggest challenges is going to be tied to the political atmosphere. Right?
You think the geopolitical situation is going to be a big?
Well, it's
because I think it's going to be
right?
it's going to be the reaction to whatever happens, because there's a lot of big things potentially brewing in our political system right now. Is Donald Trump going to get impeached? Is he not? Is he going to run for re-election?
I just wonder how many
Who's
people
gonna win the
really think
Democratic
about
bid?
that though, like when they want to buy or sell a house.
They're not thinking
I don't
about
think
it.
none.
I don't think they're thinking about it. I think it's going to have an effect.
I think there's been a complete decoupling of and a desensitization. I don't know if that's the right word, but people are desensitized now by that, and you're not seeing like. If you some of these headlines that you would have got maybe 5 years ago with different like it would have been a much bigger, but now people are like it means nothing anymore.
Correct.
Right.
But you don't think that, regardless of whether or not you think this will happen or not, you don't think if Bernie or Warren win the Democratic bid, you don't think big executives are going to freak out, pull money out of their stock market's going to crash? You don't think that's going to have an effect
100%.
on the consumers?
If that's to me one of the most dangerous things, in my opinion. If there is some situation where there is a huge change in policy.
That's what I'm saying.
A change in policy is going to spook the shit out
There's
of markets.
going to be a change in policy regardless. Something's going to change in 2020 with policy. It's going to happen. What it's going to be, it's hard to tell, but there is going to be a big change somewhere, and it's going to affect consumers. Whether consumers are thinking about it or not doesn't matter, because it's going to have an effect.
There is going to be a change in policy.
I think that's going to be the
level.
biggest thing that's
Potentially.
going to...
I don't know. Maybe we might get. I mean,
That's my opinion.
Speculate
Rates are
all you
rates.
want, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Whatever.
you never
Who
know.
gives a fuck? Like,
Yeah.
say whatever. It doesn't matter.
Right.
We're like ants in an ant farm getting shaken up. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Right?
I'm just
I
saying
mean, that's a sad way to kind of look at
Yeah.
it, but like build your little like pile of ant food and just live.
Yeah.
Right.
All you can do is control your bubble. That's
Yeah.
really it. You can't.
You have
control-
like your little line that you have, and like it's nice, and you can have like little babies.
This has become
and,
the most depressing episode
Yeah.
in the history
I'm
of
just
Insider
saying,
Real
but
Estate.
that's the
bro.
reality, right? Unless you
100%.
want to like basically dedicate your life to like politics, like you're really probably not going to push the envelope, and you just kind of got to live in your own little world.
Well, that's kind
right?
of the point, right? The question was, what do you think is going to be the biggest effect on our industry in 2020? I don't think it's going to be anything that we have control over. I don't think it's going to be anything massive where, like, all of a sudden, home buyers can get a $400,000 house for $200,000 or at 2%. Or there's nothing to be massive. It's going to be something that's like outside completely of that's going to have an effect, and we can't really do anything about it. So we just have to live in our bubble and do what we do and adapt when it happens.
Yeah. It's interesting. Now, the social media sphere it's taken a weird hit in 2019. Like Facebook was always the behemoth, but it's got a lot of bad press. Usership is going down. Their acquisition of new.
I'll tell you what's a pain in the ass.
Okay.
It really grinds my gears.
Yeah, man.
Here's Sal.
Instagram, dude. I don't know what the hell. Last week, I'm scrolling through.
Okay.
It's like if your finger even like, it's not like you clicked on it. Like I accidentally, because it's a scrolling app, right? You scroll most of the time. I like touched this ad. It came up, and it would not X out. I felt like it.
You were
my
stuck.
dad.
Yeah, you were
I
just,
felt like my dad like opening up a mail.
What
app.
is this?
I'm just clicking, clicking X. I'm like, all right,
get
maybe
stuck.
it needs to be open for 30 seconds, right? And it just sticks there. I was looking at something. I have to force quit the app, open it back up.
And now you can't find it.
And
That's
I'm like,
frustrating.
Fuck, man.
You know what?
And then I realized to myself, like, wow, like, what am I doing? I'm looking at like pictures of pizza on Instagram, and I'm pissed that I had to shut the app down.
That pizza looks so good.
Yeah, man.
You know what
Everyone's
grinds my
hands
gears
and
about those
wrists are
ads?
gonna like kind of reform
yeah.
to these like T-Rex things.
There's
From
actually
holding phones.
There's
Like,
actually a medical condition already starting. It's like something in your neck from like always looking like
dude,
this.
I got it.
Yeah,
It's like hunchback syndrome.
yeah, it's something
Yeah.
like that. It's crazy.
That's what I'm
To
talking
the
about.
point where there's like a new invention out that like it's like fucking like wraps around your neck and holds your phone in front of your head, so you don't have to. It's just
stupid,
ridiculous, dude.
How about when you're laying in bed and your phone slips out of your hand and like chips your tooth?
What?
Not chip your tooth, but it falls down. I mean, the thing is kind of heavy, right?
Sal's got a problem of hitting
But
himself in the head with his phone.
It's so funny, dude. And it is funny if you look. I mean, it's not like weird or not normal, but just go like if you're actually like looking, and I know this sounds very like boomerish, right? But like,
Okay, boomer.
yeah, but like walking around, going into like a park or whatever, or, you know, I forget where I was the other day, and I'm just looking, and everyone's just sitting there.
Everyone.
It's like dinner,
Everyone.
family dinner, or
Yep.
something like that, and it's like, damn, kind of sad. I'm afraid to see what happens. Like, I think people, if you're young people of the world looking to get into professions, right? Like, become an eye doctor. 'Cause everyone's eyes are going to be like
Fucked.
fucking fried, dude.
Yeah, dude.
Like,
Yeah.
everyone should be like,
Or a
looking-
chiropractor, because everyone's
Yeah.
backs be screwed up.
Yeah, dude.
You know, I mean, this is
Wrist
real.
surgeon.
This is real. I look at my
Bro,
kids.
I bet people have like built up scar tissue
I do.
and calluses
I do
just
my
on their
pinky,
pinky
because
finger.
the way I
Yeah.
hold my phone.
Everyone holds their phone like that.
Yeah.
Like how it's designed.
Yeah, dude.
Dude,
Like,
I wonder when they're gonna make like phones with,
ergonomically.
Yeah.
Like a pistol grip around your
well,
phone.
no, like, you know, like on a car, yeah, like a pistol grip
Yeah,
or
like
like
grooved
a
finger slots.
car steering wheel, right?
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
got like those little like 10 and 2 notches.
It's got like a slot
Yeah.
for your pinky to like sit on the bottom.
Speaking of which, if you could create like one form of technology in 2020 to like make your life easier or better, or like something that might come out, what do you think? What would it be?
Implanted technology into your eyes or like contacts where it's like,
That's coming, brother.
dude,
That's coming.
there's this book called Feed. I think I have to mention it before.
There's also a Black
but it's
Mirror
like,
episode
bro,
like
you
that.
know
it's
what
like
I
a
would like?
feed in your eyes. as
Like,
you walk
imagine
around.
if like, I mean, this would be kind of sick too, but you have like a little port and you like plug in a
You do have a port.
well, you have like a little port that goes into your stomach or something, and it's like a
Jesus Christ.
You can put like a
And
pack
you,
of
and
like
you don't have to eat anymore. That's
you
what
can put like a pack of like Gatorade on, because I feel like one thing that people, especially in the office, probably 80% of them are probably severely dehydrated.
Oh yeah.
Like, you know,
nobody
and, like,
drinks
I
enough
am
water.
At the end of the
always-
day,
always, like,
You're like, damn, dude, like I gotta go to the bathroom.
Well, they have it. It's called IVs, bro.
And
You can get an
you
IV.
piss out the coffee that you drank at 9 a.m.
Yeah,
because you
12
haven't
hours
done
ago.
anything since. So then you're like, well, maybe
It
I'll go home
smells
and
like you just
sleep,
brewed
or
a
you go
pot.
to the bar.
Yeah,
And
not,
it's like,
nobody drinks enough
you're
water.
perpetuating. Like, I just realized too this week that the healthiest moments are when I'm away from the office. It's like you just run. Like,
Yeah.
don't drink water. Like,
Yeah.
eat trash.
Yeah.
we should move
Go
that
to the
water
bar,
cooler
whatever.
office.
Right?
What?
We should move the water cooler closer to everyone.
We should, dude.
Like
Yeah,
right
I
in the
mean,
middle of the fucking
Or
room.
we just like get up and walk up like 3 steps and get a glass of water. It's
Yeah.
just, I don't know. It's like, it's funny. And you talk to a whole bunch of people, and like, there are some people who consciously do it, right? They got like a big jug of water and they're like, I
Yeah.
got to drink this today.
You know what I think is going to be a lot different in 2020, and it's going to grow even more than it
I
already
don't know
has.
how we got on that subject.
Yeah, it's
but
weird.
sorry.
I don't know how we haven't talked
yeah.
about the year in review at
Yeah,
all. That's
not
great.
at all. So, but I think in 2020 we're going to see more gig economy stuff, right? It's
That's inevitable.
Really, really wild to me
That's
that I can literally everything's gig economy now. Everybody can just pick up
Everything.
gigs, right?
Yeah.
And I can order groceries and have someone go pick them up. I can have someone cut my grass. I can like all these little things that people like. You know, there's all these little gigs that people can take, and we're going to find more and more people in today's world doing that kind of stuff, Ubers and all this other stuff.
It's gonna be like an app like for like handyman housework, like Uber. Like
They already have it, bro. Yeah, you can. They have it for mowing lawns. They have it for
Really?
yeah. Like
Kinda
there's
genius.
a mowing lawn one that shows you where all the people that are mowing lawns. They're like little fucking they're like little
That's genius.
lawnmowers, and you just boom, you hit
I
a
thought I
button,
just came up with a great idea,
and they
but
come
it's
up.
already there.
No, dude, the whole gig economy is massive,
Yeah, it's,
right?
It's ridiculous.
And you can basically portion out every part of your life really at this point.
but it's really sad too. Like there's no
Is it?
longevity. Yeah, there's
Why?
no. Think about the common worker, right? There's no security there. You're fighting every day.
No, the days
Not
of
everyone's-
pensions, the days of pensions
Yeah,
are
but
gone.
not everyone's built to be like a self-employed human that's like always scrapping, right?
Mm-hmm.
And like a lot of our economy is built on like stability and predictability, and the gig economy is not predictable and it's not stable. That's the opposite of what it is, right?
Yeah,
So it's shaky, right?
yeah.
It's like building your house on
Well,
on
it's
sand,
essentially like,
right?
if you think about it, right, there's like one entity making like a ton of money,
Yeah, it's like a giant
and then a
pyramid
whole
scheme.
bunch of employees. Well, no, there's no pyramid because
Yeah.
there's no management levels.
No,
Yeah.
It's not a pyramid scheme.
It's not.
It's actually the opposite.
No, it's just
like,
someone skimming off the top
Yeah.
and making tons of money.
Yeah, it's cool, but there's no management or oversight to a degree of these people picking up these gigs, and it's like all over the place, right? But I mean,
It is kind of weird. Think about Uber, right?
I think it's legit though.
I think it's
why
legit
not,
too.
right?
I really, but think about Uber, right? It's just a random dude that just got an
Yeah,
app,
dude.
and you get in their car,
Yeah.
just assuming that they're like they're not a taxi driver. They're just like I've had
There's some
dads,
just some dude.
I had one guy he's dropping his kid off at U of M, and we were going out, me and my wife, and he's like, "Oh, I turned it on. I decided to pick you up." And then you have this weird. It's always a weird conversation. So, man, how long you been doing Uber? And it's always a different story.
Yeah,
and you know what I mean? It's like, oh, I do this, and it's just a very different.
Well, it was
world.
either this or I had to sell my kidney.
But think about how much Uber has helped our society, in my opinion.
Oh, it's a great convenience for
DUIs have probably gone
Yeah,
down,
it's
right?
great.
I think it's I think there are going to be things, but Uber is making a ton of money off of it, right? And Lyft is making a ton of money off of it. And there's going to be a lot more of this stuff happening because there is a lot of money in it, and there's a want and a need for these services.
Yep.
It's interesting. So I wonder like how many things are going to get gigafied.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'd be interested to see how long it takes for.
I just wonder to a point when it becomes like inefficient, right? Like I think like DoorDash, inefficient for the bottom, the person delivering it, right? Like
They're not making that much.
Yeah,
Dude, they
it's
can't be.
almost to that point already.
Dude,
They're
like-
barely.
DoorDash, I think I said this before on the show. It's like fucking crazy, dude. Like someone drives from like Lake Orion,
Yeah.
right,
they
which
spend-
to like Troy to pick up a Shields Pizza. They wait
to make $6.
30 minutes at
Yeah.
the Shields Pizza, and then they drive it to my house, and I'm like, oh man, like.
Yeah, here's $1.
Sorry, bro.
Yeah.
And then I wonder
made, like,
why.
$3
I wonder
to do
why
that.
there's a fucking bite out of my pizza. Right? I'm like, damn, dude, that's tough, right?
Yeah.
Uber's pretty good, right?
But think about
It's
DoorDash.
like in a good area, right?
But think about DoorDash from a restaurant perspective. Some of these restaurants are surviving off DoorDash because a lot, like I know where we are specifically, we talked about some of these businesses that are there that that weren't getting the traffic, but because of DoorDash, people were ordering food from them.
You know what's
online.
interesting now that you see on these apps, these gig apps, like a subscription model now, which so like for example with DoorDash, you pay $10 a month.
Mm-hmm.
And you get these special delivery fees, right?
Mhm.
And it's like, well,
Everything's
if
subscription,
you
bro.
if you ordered like two,
Well, subscription model is genius.
well, it's like the unlimited car wash,
Yeah.
right? Like
it provides.
they're going to
the-
make some money on people who order DoorDash once a month or like whatever.
But it's not predictable.
because they put out there, you could save X on this deal if you did this, right?
Mhm.
And then people pay that, and yeah, they win some in there. But with that being said, like, what are these companies going to do? Are they going to pass that along to the people who are essentially running their business,
Right.
right? Or are they going to keep it?
Who knows,
Right?
man?
I mean, Uber is like, it's like something crazy. It's like 40 billion or something, or I forget what it was, but
But I mean, they're smart. And think about what's going to happen. And we got to get to 3 questions real quick after this. But pretty soon, we won't have humans driving cars because we're going to have self-driving cars. We won't have the need to buy or own a car unless you want to. Then you can like Uber it out. And I could push a button. A car shows up at my house. No driver. I get in the car. I sit in the back.
I think
I
that's
do my
still
work.
50 years away, dude.
It's far away.
No,
maybe
it's not.
30.
No way.
It's not.
Think about what we were
the
talking
market
about
was
earlier.
huge.
Technology replaces itself every 2 years. Like,
But I think that's going to be like
exponentially growing.
that will be
There's
like
too
a
much
public
infrastructure for that.
That's like a public transit system. I don't know.
I don't think
never
it's 50
not
years. I think it's way
As long as
closer
I have a
than
car that
50.
I can't drive.
Salvatore, you right now have a car that'll drive itself, and which is 5 years
Agree.
old.
Yeah,
It's 5 years old.
it's shaky.
Tesla already
Yeah,
has
but
models out there that you can Uber it out already, like the self-driving.
No, you can push a button in a parking lot,
I
and
just
your
like
Tesla
driving.
will come to you.
I know
Yes.
some people don't, but I just like driving.
There will be
I do too.
there will always be a population that loves driving, but if you don't have to own a car and you can push a button and it picks you up and takes you where to go, and I can keep my car at home and drive it on the weekends for fun, that's sweet.
That is sweet.
I can't wait for that.
Yeah, I mean, I could find a very good use for a self-driving car, right?
Yeah.
Like essentially just be my DD.
Yeah.
right. That'd be sweet.
All right.
But
All right, we're gonna do 3 questions as we're running out of time. So 2020, if you had to have a 2020 resolution that you want to follow for 2020, what would it be and why?
Yes, me or Sal first?
We can anybody who's got the. I'll go first. My biggest thing is going to be I want to be healthier. I really,
man.
really want to be
That's not a
healthier.
mine's a
resolution.
standard New Year's resolution. Like I want to drink less, eat better, get in better shape. Like that's what I want to do. I have never made it a true resolution though.
Yeah.
Right? Like
Yeah. Resolutions
talk
always
is
get broken.
real cheap, right?
Go to the gym on the first day after the New Year's, and it's fucking packed. Go there a month later, and all those people are eating.
I not
pizza
even
on their
necessarily want to go to the gym, right? Like I got this like the Peloton bike. It's like crazy, right?
Mhm.
Speaking of, did you see that bullshit about that ad?
fucking- No,
I don't want to say it's bullshit, right? Because I mean, I guess it offended some people, but like It's
Oh,
like
the
a
girl.
whole-
Oh, the girl.
yeah, I'm like,
And she was like being like forced to work out by her husband. He got her a Peloton.
well, she like became addicted to it. Or
yeah,
something, right?
the Peloton. He got her a Peloton.
I don't watch enough TV,
And
I
he's
guess.
like, she's like, look, honey, I'm using the Peloton. And she's like, she looks like a battered wife.
yeah, it's kind of crazy.
It is
I-
kind of crazy.
Yeah, so I don't want to say it's bullshit because that is
Peloton's
crazy,
great.
right? But yeah, it's
But everything's Peloton now.
but yes, I just think like health for us, seeing what we do every day is probably like eating better,
Yeah,
drinking less, like
yeah,
being better humans.
yeah. I think
So-
that's mine. What about you, Brad?
I mean, it sounds cliche, but I gotta agree. It'd be health.
We're all unhealthy
We're
individuals.
super unhealthy.
You gotta take care of that.
We're
cough,
high.
brother.
We're high stress level.
Yeah.
We have horrible habits. All
Yeah.
three.
How
of us.
great would it be to wake up and feel rested one day?
Oh,
Just
man.
one day.
I do
Just
at
one day.
times, and then the moment I
Man.
wake up, I'm like, oh, I feel good, and then all of a sudden it's like, boom, 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 and I'm like, oh my
Dude,
god.
I feel like I'm at like a resort, right? Like when I have nothing going on the next day, I'm like in
Yeah.
my house. It's like, fuck, I'm just gonna wash the sheets so they're comfy tonight, right? Like lay in it, sleep what feels like a long time, and you wake up and you're like, oh, like
Mhm.
you feel like trash.
Yeah.
You know, like I wonder if there's something in the air or water because I don't think I've ever slept good since I was like a kid.
Yeah. Yeah.
You finally get like nothing to do the next day, and then you wake up that day. Do you feel like
You will have like
trash
maybe that
because
like
all
once
that-
in like a 6 month sleep where
Yeah.
you wake up and you feel like, holy shit, like I got some sleep.
But
Mhm.
usually you wake up and you're like, feel even worse because all that 6 months worth of shit that you've been building up
Yeah.
just like hits you because you finally slowed down enough for it to catch up
Mhm.
and it
Yeah.
just smacks you across the face.
All right. Next question: If you could make one big purchase without any consequence in 2020, yeah, no consequences, whatever you wanted.
Motorcycle,
You want a motorcycle?
Harley.
Harley.
Man, I
Yeah.
can see that.
Wow.
My wife told me no.
You should not
Yeah.
have a Harley.
Dude, you
that
should-
that
you
goes
should
against
definitely
the
not have a
health
Harley.
thing.
No, it doesn't. That's healthy.
You're not
for
a
me.
good. You'd be texting while
Think about all
driving
that
your
fresh
Harley.
air that
dude.
just
No,
forced
I don't
into
think
your
it's that.
face.
It's like to me, and I don't see nearly as many motorcycles on the road as you probably did before.
Right.
One, because I think like people are like probably way softer nowadays, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
and two, like, man, it's fucking dangerous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People
Not-
aren't paying attention when they're
Dude,
driving.
yeah.
It's not
They're
about
harder to
you. It's
see.
about what other people
Yeah.
are doing. Yeah.
100%.
I don't care what you say. I mean, there's like maybe like 1 out of like 20 people who don't text and drive, like make it a point not to text
Yeah.
and drive,
Yeah,
right?
it's
It's a
difficult.
I was
big,
driving down 75 and I saw like some 75-year-old little grandma on her fucking phone
Yeah.
on the interstate. And I was like, man.
Yeah.
Right.
What about you, Salvatore? One big purchase.
man, that's crazy.
I know. I
Yeah.
know. That's why I asked it.
I don't know, dude.
I think in 2020 is the year I finally get
If I
the
could, man,
Rolex. I want to get that Rolex this year.
Rolex.
I-
I'd like to buy like a lake house.
That's
Ooh,
awesome.
That's a good one too.
Yeah, that's a really good one.
If I can, I want to buy like
I'd like it if you
something
bought
up
one, too.
north. That'd be sweet. I want to Airbnb it,
I would
as
love
an
it if you did that.
investment.
Me too.
but take off like
I think Omega
Let's
Land
do it
should get
together.
one. We should get one.
on some land
We should
and
get
I
one
can go
together.
hunting on it.
Let's all get one.
or just I'll go in on one and Airbnb it.
Yeah.
And that's what we
As
really
long as
should
it's got
do.
some hunting land on it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm. Lakefront for the Airbnb.
Lakefront, but with some land to hunt on.
And then last question is going to be as far as our business for Omega Lending. If you had to set one goal for us as a company, what would it be? If you had to set a goal, not like a
Dude,
volume
let's
goal.
do like some fun questions.
you
Yeah.
want to do a fun
Yeah.
question?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
we'll do a fun question.
Like-
okay, think of a fun question, motherfucker. Go ahead.
Like, all right, let's do your
We should do a whole
the
episode. where we
island one.
The island one. Which
Yeah.
which
what
one?
would you bring if you were stranded on an island? What one item would you bring?
One item.
just- what item?
One item that you could bring.
Not a
with you.
human.
No, I'd bring.
Not a
I
human,
would
dude.
bring like a machete. I feel like cutting stuff down and being able to build stuff is really important. So a machete or a hatchet, something I can cut with. Right? I got to build shit. What about you?
Hmm.
You-
I don't know. I wanna hear what Brad says.
Okay, you're gonna go off that.
I'd bring. It'd be a multi-tool hatchet,
Okay, so same thing. I mean, you just copied.
but it'd be a multi-tool,
Great. Okay,
not
congratulations.
just a hatchet.
yeah, perfect.
Hmm.
Like where the handle's like interchangeable, you can turn it into a knife or a hammer, a hatchet. It's got like flint in it.
I don't know if.
It's got like a little strike pad.
yeah, that's good.
Right.
That's good.
Yeah.
All right.
Got a little screwdriver in the end. You stick in
Pretty
there.
good.
I
What
might
the fuck
bring.
you need
I
a
might
screwdriver
actually
on
bring
island
like
for?
something to play music with. Because man, if I didn't have like music or something like while you're on the
Just
island.
make it. Get some coconuts, hollow them out, make little bongos.
Oh.
Got
I'd
plenty of
probably
time.
if it your item has like unlimited powers too. Like if it's a
Yeah.
lighter, it never runs out, right? I'd probably bring like AR-15, dude.
It's pretty good.
For what?
Shoot and kill
Shoot
animals.
Yeah.
Like
I mean,
I
if
could
there's a
probably
bear
start
in
a
there.
fire with it.
Right.
I could probably
All right. Well,
cut down trees with it.
We'll do one. We'll do one
Right?
last question because it's a pretty long episode. But if you could have one superpower, what would it be
shit,
and
we
why?
gotta go.
Yeah, one superpower. What would it be?
Man, probably read people's minds.
It's pretty good. That's pretty good. What about you?
Could you turn that on or off when you wanted to?
Yes, it's your
Read
superpower.
people's minds.
Really?
Yeah.
As long as I
Actually,
could turn
I
it
don't
on or
think I'd
off.
wanna know. I don't know.
I wouldn't want to be like that movie where you just always hear what people are thinking. That would, but like be able to turn it on or off.
I'd want to fly, dude.
Yeah, bro, that'd be fucking
I
sweet.
want to fly, man.
Or
How
teleport.
envious are you?
Teleport.
Like, think about being
Fuck flying.
a bird.
Teleport.
If you fly at the speed of light,
Dude, flying would be
Teleport.
sweet.
Teleport.
No, man.
All right.
How's-
All
You
right.
get there and your
All right,
clothes
guys,
are all
we
wrinkled
gotta
up,
wrap
your
it up.
hair's
We
all
gotta wrap
blown
it
out.
Listen, everybody that's followed our journey, I can't thank everybody enough for the support that we've gotten from our show to our business to all that stuff. So thank you for an amazing 2019.
It's been great.
We are really excited about what 2020 is going to bring. Unlike the episode, was kind of a little depressing, but no, we are really excited. We appreciate everybody's support.
We should do a whole episode where we just ask each other those random questions.
All right, guys, love you all. See you next year. Bye.
You've been listening to Inside Real Estate, the nation's top real estate podcast. Don't forget to follow us at irepodcast.com and everywhere where podcasts are available.